Hey kids, here we have a wonderful video about using functions to model life, however inaccurately. So we've got some graphs on this page, and what I would love for you to do is actually take the time to read through exercise 1 right now. So press pause, do a little read through, and then we'll work through it together. All right, I'm back. Hopefully you pressed pause and now we're working together. So we're looking at the height above the ground versus time. So always when I'm looking at these, I will always bring my attention to the axes. So time is modeled on the x-axis while um, my height is modeled on the y-axis. And he's riding his favorite ski slope. So the first question says, state the domain. And what I will always do whenever I see these keywords, they stick out for me. I'll always say, oh yeah, I know, domain is X. And if I bring my attention to part B, notice how that word range is sticking right out. I didn't even read the question, but I see range, and I know my range is associated with my y-axis. So right away, I'm leaving a note to myself, hey, look at the x-axis, okay? So on the x-axis, we're going from 0 all the way to 5, okay? So it looks like my domain is from 0 to 5. And then it says state what the domain represents. Well, it says it right here, the time. So if you take the time, no pun intended, to actually look at the graph and take a little breather, it's easy to answer these things. So the time in this case, it's minutes. And again, I'm reading that straight from the label. It took for Thomas to ride his favorite ski slope. So he was skiing for 6 minutes. Okay. Now it says state the range. Okay. In your own words. So range, I'm going from 0 all the way up to the highest point, which is right here, which is 90. Okay. So this makes me happy. The distance from the ground to the top of the ski slope was how far? 90. Be careful. You want to make sure you use units. It's not 90 feet, it's 90 meters. Okay, so now I love questions like this. What might Thomas have been doing in the interval 0 less than or equal to t less than or equal to 2? When I read this, I read it as t is between 0 and 2. Time is between 0 and 2. So I'm looking at the time between 0 and 2. And between that time, it looks like Thomas is going up at a steady rate. So when you're skiing and you're going up at a steady rate, maybe you are riding the chairlift. I always hate the moment where you have to hop off the chairlift and everyone's looking at you and then you fall. Oh, that doesn't happen to you, just me? All right, cool. So exercise 2, I'm going to request that you do the same thing. And please take my advice. Read the example and take some time to try to answer these questions. When you've tried your absolute best, unpause the video and work through it with me. Okay, so here we're talking about the height of a gravity-defying ball that was thrown into the air over the interval 0 to 8 seconds. Always bring your attention to these labels. It's so helpful. Okay. So when it's telling me, hey, what is the maximum height? I know I'm looking on the height axis, which is the y-axis. So I want to see what's the highest point. It's happening right here at this vertex. And so the maximum height is 11 feet. Ooh, and we're writing it in glitter pen because we're feeling like a unicorn today. When does the ball reach its maximum height? So again, my eye is drawn to this vertex, but now instead of looking at the actual height, I'm looking for the when, which is the time. So I've got to drop down and I see that's at 4 seconds. I didn't just pull seconds up out of thin air. I pulled it from the label. Okay, so again, we're looking at the when, meaning I'm looking at that x-axis and I want to know when it comes back down. And that is at 8 seconds. Beautiful. Lastly, how high was the ball 3 seconds after it was thrown into the air? 3 seconds. So it's saying, hey, Miss Capola, look at your 3 on the x-axis because that is my time. Okay? So when I look, here's my 3. And we've got to find what its height was at 3 seconds, and that would be 10 feet. If that wasn't the most fun thing you've done all day, I feel sorry for you.